Hey everyone, hope that you're doing well. Going to talk about a COVID-19 vaccination study that came out of South Korea. It was on November 7th of this year that it just came out, and it was tracking the COVID vaccine to a big increase in things like pneumonia, common cold, upper respiratory infections, and influenza-like illnesses and tuberculosis. So this study was done on November 7th. And again, it was out of South Korea. And what they did was they studied an entire national population of over 51 million people between 2023 and late 2024. And researchers did track the vaccination history, COVID infections, and rates of seven major respiratory illnesses, like the ones I had just mentioned before. So let's just dive right in. I won't make this too long. I just want to kind of give you this, and then I'll post a link to the study below. It's from the International Journal of Infectious Diseases. So, yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Across nearly every age group and data set, the risk for non-COVID respiratory infections actually increased with the number of COVID vaccines doses people received. So, for example, in kids and teens, after the second dose, the risk of getting a common cold nearly quadrupled. Yeah, quadrupled. That's crazy. After the fourth dose, it was over six times higher than in the baseline group. Older adults showed the same trend, though a little bit smaller, with around 9% higher after two doses of the COVID shot and up to 58% higher after four or more. The pattern repeated for upper respiratory infections and even pneumonia, with extra dose showing a steady climb in risk. Tuberculosis showed smaller increases, mainly among people who also who had COVID before. So one red flag of the study I would like to point out, because no study goes without its flaws, and this is a pretty big flaw in my opinion, but I'll let that you can decide that for yourself, is that the unvaccinated group, comparison group, in the study actually included people who got one dose of the vaccine. So, I mean, this likely underestimates the true difference compared to those who are fully unvaccinated. So, of course, again, with saying this is going to, I mean, this further reinforces the COVID vaccine and how unsafe it is, especially in regards to, these upper respiratory infections and pneumonia and tuberculosis. So yeah, just thought I'd point that out because it is important, just in case anyone wanted to kind of, nitpick the study. So while the authors claim that there was some protection against things like pertussis or flu-like infections, that's probably just a statistical illusion. The data doesn't line up with what's really happening in real life, where pertussis cases in Korea reportedly spiked over 40-fold during the same period. So what does this all really suggest? Basically, as the number of RNNA shots went up, I should say that again. As the number of RNNA shots, a bit of a tongue twister, went up, so did the rate of ordinary viral and bacterial infections, the kind your immune system should normally handle easily. The trend was consistent and dose dependent, which raises real questions about whether repeated boosters might be weakening immune defense over time. Personally, I have an opinion on that they absolutely are. They're absolutely destroying people's immune systems and causing so many more problems than just this. This is just a very small, minuscule part of the issues these vaccines or so-called vaccines are causing. So researchers are now investigating what they're calling potential vaccine-associated immune dysregulation, or VAIDS, looking into changes in immune markers, antibody types, and T cell exhaustion in heavily vaccinated versus unvaccinated people. If those signals hold up, it could have major implications for global health policy and how mRNA technology is used going forward. So there's the study, guys. I wanted to share it with you. It's a bit alarming for sure, but for me personally, it's not too much of a surprise based off the information I've been gathering over the past 3 to 4 years with this COVID thing and even just anecdotal experience. I've known quite a few people close to me and have met quite a few people that have had autoimmune problems, heart issues, myocarditis, stroke, the list goes on very shortly after, like a week or two after taking the vaccine, especially heart related stuff. It's extremely common and it saddens me. It really does that this is happening. And it's unfortunate because I do think it's going to continue to get worse because I don't know if we can really get these gene modifying vaccines out of our bodies. So yeah, I mean, I hope it doesn't. I don't want to have a pessimistic view, but just looking at the data and what's been happening at an, anecdotal level and just through the media and through other sources of information, it's not looking great. So I just hope this information reaches people who need it in a time when they need it. And it's up to you to decide what you want to believe. I'm just here to give you what I think and what the science is thinking and what the studies are showing, and challenge your assumptions and be curious. That's all you can really do. Um, and just a side little note here is that I really am doing this because I want people to know the truth about optimal human health, because I believe firmly that it's our birthright to be healthy. And there's so much entanglements, whether it's financial or political out there, that are trying to steer us in this kind of consumerism driven, short-term thinking, dopamine kind of chasing mentality, if that makes any sense. Like, it's just there's so much corporate greed and so much kind of fuckery that goes on. And it's important for me to put that out in the world and make people more aware of it if they are not already. And for you too to speak up, because we all need to speak up. And this is part of my truth and my journey. And I hope it helps. So that's it for today, and we'll be back next time. All right. See you later, guys. Bye.